What is going on, guys? DBG here, and this is another episode of the series where I rate your squads. So if you guys want me to rate your squad, tweet me on Twitter at DBGYT_, and I will take 10 teams each week and rate them. So last week was actually the first week in the best part of a year, pretty much, that I haven't done one of these videos. So don't worry, lads, it's not like that. Last week is going to be a common occurrence. We'll be doing it every week. Don't worry. Do not worry. So, also, apologies if I could not rate your team. I'm only going to be doing 10 a week, and if I rated teams to the extent that I rate them normally, then like this would take a long time. So anyway, let's have a look at this right here. So, no money spent, like the 3-point hunt and get points transition. Boris, Daryl, and Richie are badged out. Okay. AK is a 3-point shootout. 300k, 500 tokens on current gen. Alright, let's have a look. Let's have a look right here. So, Alston and badged up Richie are good. Badged up Daryl's good. Jalen's good. You say Jalen's badged out? No. But Dia badged out is really good. I mean, I like this team. First of all, the one player I would get was Serge Ibaka. You're going to hear that a lot in this video by Serge Ibaka. But Serge Ibaka over either of those centers. Other than that, though, I like your power forwards for their price. You can't get much better. I like Mullen. I like Jalen. I like Griffith. I like Reddish. I like Alston. I like Richie Guerin. And overall, I like this team. I do like this team. So I'm going to give this like a 7.7 out of 10. Hoping move to an 8 out of 10 with the addition of Serge Ibaka in for one of your centers. Trust me, I'm warning you right now, you are going to hear put in Serge Ibaka an awful lot in this video. So apologies in advance if you guys are not a fan of Serge Ibaka. In my opinion, he is just a top 5 center in the game, and he's like 20k. Then we got this team right here. Badged, Stockton, and Williams. Play Hawks 5 out. Not sure what to do with Giannis. Any suggestions? Welcome. Okay, by the looks of things, am I right in saying that that's next gen? The way the font is? I'm not 100% confident. I think that's the way the font looks on next gen. I'm really bad at telling this, but let me have a look. Okay, Stockton, T-Mac, Giannis, AD, Cowens. I mean, this team, you know this team's good. You know this team. First of all, play Darren at the 1 off the bench, and at the 2 play Westfall, because it's a lot more important to have range on a primary ball handler than a secondary ball handler. So definitely Westfall at the 2. Then Zion, Glenn Robinson can't do much better. This is like a 9.5 out of 10, especially if you're on next gen where the speed of Sabonis isn't anywhere near as much of a factor. So okay, you got 630k. First of all, what I would suggest is just get Cam Reddish. Like, he's not expensive. He is not expensive at all. And honestly, as much as I love Paul Westphal, Cam Reddish is definitely better to have in at the 2 guard position than Paul Westphal. Although I do really like Westphal. Okay, so I'm trying to think who else is in that pack for Dave Cowens. You've only got T-Mac there, but I'm trying to think who else is in that. Oh no, you have to badge up Mitchell or Jimmy to make them very good. So first of all, it costs like 40k to do Cam Reddish when you know how to switch everything around. If you guys don't know what to do, look up a video from Gatto about it. But Cam Reddish is probably the one adjustment I'd make. But this is like a 9.5 out of 10. His team is fantastic. His team's a lot better than the team I have, and his team is a lot better than my team. So 9.5 out of 10. Really good team. That's one of the best teams we've seen. Okay. I usually rim run with your point guard, small forward, or power forward. I hide Ja on defense and usually put Michael Cooper on opposing PGs. Ingram has bronze clamps. Okay, that's good. Hey, what gen is this? Oh, I'm so bad at telling what gen this is on, because things change depending on what gen you're on. So for example, Ja Morant is fantastic if you're on next gen. If this is current gen, which I think it looks like it's current gen, if I'm not mistaken, this is current gen, I would probably advise you to get rid of Ja. Oh no, so you said you hide Ja on defense. I mean, if you can hide him defense, he's good. Cooper is a good defender. Glenn's good. Juwan's good. Juwan Howard's underrated. He's so underrated. I mean, I like the bench. I do. Keenan's a bit iffy. But if you can make him work, he's good. Okay, I'm trying to think what you can do. In a kind of crazy thing, just like my suggestion, you've got Serge Ibaka, so I can't really suggest Serge Ibaka. So I'm going to suggest what I'm going to, the next thing I'm going to suggest the most. Sell a couple of players, get Cam Reddish, and sell a few players back. You should be able, when you get Cam Reddish, sell a few players. As much as I love Ingram, it doesn't matter how you get Cam Reddish, Probably replace him with Nick. Actually, no. Then putting Anderson there at the 2 or at the 3, Ingram at the 4, and get rid of Larry Keane if you can find a way to get Cam Reddish. Either play a little bit of TTO. I think you need about 150k, but when it's all said and done, it costs about 50k. You might need a little more than 150 for Reddish, but I try to find a way to get him. Other than that, it seems really good. It seems like an 8 out of 10. Nobody spent 5 out with Blake and 300 Darren off the bench. Everyone badged up except JB. Oh, Jaylen Brown. 1.3 million budget. Okay, so you've got basically you've got max MT. First suggestion is to be smart with your MT. You've got a bunch of lock-in players. I'm going to say, considering you've all the lock-in players, first player you should get, Serge Ibaka. No, being dead serious, I would probably, considering the fact you sold all your players, I'm guessing at one stage you would have had the likes of Duncan and stuff, and I don't think those guys are enough better than an Ibaka to buy them over him. Like, they're a tiny bit better. I think buying Serge Ibaka as your backup center is probably the best way to go about it. He's only like 20k. I like Maurice Lucas, so I'm not going to say to get rid of him because he's the best defensive card, period, in this game. Regardless of price, regardless of rating, he is the best defensive card in the game. I'm trying to think. He's Draymond clone, I'm pretty sure, as well. So I think he's at the same... Does he have the same dribble, sigs, and release as Draymond, or just the same release? I'm not sure. But on current gen, he's a beast. And I think this is current gen, if I'm not mistaken. Chris Mullin's good, Griffith's good, Darren Williams is good, Jalen's good. Okay. I'm trying to think, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Griffith. I don't mind him, but in reality, if this is me, I'm putting in Nick Anderson instead of Daryl Griffith. And then I'm keeping... Like, you can literally get Nick Anderson and Serge Ibaka and still likely stay over 1.3 million. So that would be probably my advice. But I like Bob Love. The rest of your team's more than competitive, so I probably advise you to kind of hold on to your MT for a little bit. Mainly until, I think we're seeing it right now. We're seeing better and better cards being released every week. We're seeing 2 to 3 batches of cards being released every single week. And I think once Moments cards come out, we're going to start seeing, which will be less than a month from now, we're going to start seeing 3 drops of cards per week. And once they start dropping 3 batches of cards, that's when we're going to start to see cards tanking in price. So I definitely hold out your MT for another month because I think the market is going to absolutely tank at that stage. Okay, so now we have got this team here. Next gen, no money spent, 5 out and ISO. Don't go for tokens, willing to sell anyone, D-Will, and dude, you badged up Dino. I love Dino, but that's a crazy move. Okay, so you've got Ibaka. You've not got Cam Reddish. Try and get yourself a Cam Reddish. With these guys in your team, you can afford a Cam Reddish. So Cam Reddish is the first player that I think you should get. I think I've suggested Cam for everybody. Cam or Serge. I mean, there's just no reason to have Rex Chapman in over Nick Anderson. There's just not. Larry Johnson. I don't mind Larry Johnson, but I think he can do better. I think he can do better. Maybe a tactical downgrade? I'm being completely serious. Assuming you don't have Larry Johnson badged up, you're actually going to get more out of tactically downgrading to Andre Kirilenko and playing him with the 4. I do like Juwan Howard, though. I like Ingram off your bench. I like your point guards. I mean, Rex is good next gen, though. When Nick Anderson's better. If you weren't next gen, I would suggest to get rid of Dino. But because of next gen, the way Dino is, I wouldn't necessarily suggest that. There are definitely better options for... Well, there aren't many better options for cheaper, not gonna lie. There are definitely better options that are probably in your price range, but... Nah, Dino's pretty good next gen. So honestly, a tactical downgrade to AK, especially for next gen, because how good his release is. Literally same release as Glenn Robinson, so you've got 2 players the same release on the team. And then you've also got to find some way of getting Cam Reddish. But this team's pretty good, like it's like an 8.5, 8.3 out of 10 maybe. Pretty good. I mean, very similar to something I'd run with on my PS5, either PS4 or PS5. I'm just sitting on a bunch of MP at this stage. Run 5-out with Hawks 2018. Everyone with upgradable range extender. Quick first step clamps, has them on gold. Okay, sorry. Aside from Rafer and Ibaka, we have a badge. I'm not sure you can even add those badges to Rafer. Have a 380k MT, but Dean Wade has to stay. Of course. Alright, so let me have a look here. I mean, this is like a 9.4, especially with all these guys fully upgraded. This is a 9.5 out of 10. Like, if you've got badges on all these guys, this is a 9.5 out of 10. 377k. Look, you don't need to spend anything. You've got Cam. You've got Cam and Ibaka. You know I'm gonna like this team when you've got both Cam Reddish and Ibaka. I heard Clyde Holmes went down to like 8k yesterday as well. That Amethyst, he's a beast. Like, Jaylen Brown upgraded badges is scarily good. Cam Reddish is fantastic. Zion Williamson's ridiculous, especially because, if I'm not mistaken, you're on current gen, where Zion is literally the best card in the game. One change I would make is I would probably sell Paul George and use the MT you get from Paul George to put in Glenn Robinson. I do think Glenn Robinson is better than Paul George. I think he just does a lot more, has range extender, and has that better release, especially on current gen. Because they're kind of even on next gen, but range extender for Glenn Robinson is important. So I would definitely get rid of Paul George. I think he's a little bit dated in terms of his badges, PCBs at the start of the year, but still a really good card. I just think Glenn's better. And that's kind of the only change that I make to this team. Other than that, though, it's really, really good. Like, this is no doubt about it, 9.5. Chris Mullen. I would actually, as crazy as this sounds, I would, unless you're a guy that's really good with your point guard, I was about to say I would start either Mullen or Clay, but nah. Mullen and Clay can work together, because if you have Glenn and Rafer, or Paul George and Rafer. Yeah, this seems nice. This team is really, really nice. And gold range Tim Duncan is an interesting player. Okay. How do you like that for an upgrade from 2 weeks ago? We're on the same play as almost got Cam. Okay. Getting Cam is important. Getting Cam is very, very important, lads. I'm just going to say that. Getting Cam is important. You've got Ewing, which means you obviously know what you're doing. You've got Blake Griffin, which means you obviously play this game a lot. Steve Francis. I mean, I really like him. I like Rafer Alston. One player I would get rid of in a heartbeat is Eric Gordon. But you're getting Cam. Like, surely Chuck and Sharif are badged up. Those are two guys that are really good badged up, but horrendously bad not badged up. So I'm very, very iffy on those two cards right there. But like, if you're looking at this squad here, you got two of the best centers in the game. You've got a great wing. You should probably try badge. You don't necessarily have to try badge of Jaylen. If you just wait it out, you'll probably get a badge of Jaylen for like 100, for like, not badge of Jaylen. You'll probably get a badged up Jaylen type card for like 30k. Cooper's really good. Gordon, Cam for Gordon and this team is like an 8 out of 10. Right now it's like a 7.5 out of 10. Okay. Blake has clamps and range. I run Hawks 2018 5 out and use Blake as point center. You have learned well. You have learned well. That's all I'm gonna say. Point center Blake is god tier. Okay, you've already got Iguodala, so you're obviously a demon at this game, or you just know how to cheese the game by running Blake at point center. That's kind of an important thing. You got Steph, Iguodala, Reddish, Lucas. Okay, so this is a whole team of reward cards. I mean, there's only, I would definitely just say this team's unbelievable. There's no point really making any changes because this team is more than competitive and it's also free. You also don't have any MT tied up. Except, I would still advise you, just like a guy earlier, spend 20k MT and get yourself a Serge Ibaka. Ibaka's better than Ewing. But other than that, though, this is like a 9 out of 10. I'd be worried seeing this team. Seeing Steph, I would be more worried about this team than any other team. Seeing Steph, Iggy, and Blake, I'd be scared out of my mind. I would be scared out of my mind. Okay, still trying to establish a playstyle in current gen. Mainly just freelance and 5-out if needed. Any improvements needed? Okay, so you've got Steph and Blake. So you obviously are playing a lot more of this game than I play. Jalen, Reddish, Duncan, Kevin Garnett, and Mike off the bench. Oh, that's all I'm going to say. Hal Greer, if you have Hal Greer badged up, he's nice. If not, he's still okay, actually. Alston's pretty good. Glenn's good. Man, those two guys do not play Kevin Garnett. It's a power forward. Honestly, there are so many better power forwards used. Freaking, at that power forward, Kevin Garnett's a really solid center, but he's just so inconsistent. I just sell Kevin Garnett. Honestly, and when you're tactically down, like, using the phrase tactically downgrade, but like, it's just even putting in an Ingram at the 3, Glenn at the 4 is better. Getting rid of Kevin Garnett, putting an AK-47, you're not losing anything. Defensively, AK is almost as good as Kevin Garnett. He shoots better than Kevin Garnett. Yeah, he's worse in the post, but who uses a player in the post in this game? At the center position, Garnett's good because of his mobility. However, the power forward position, he's not good. So I would definitely just tactically downgrade to someone like an AK. And you barely lose anything while saving like 70, 80k. Other than that, though, I like the team. I do like the team. Duncan's great. George Mikan's okay, especially because he's free. I would, if you can, probably put in a Ibaka for George Mikan, but he's not the biggest deal in the world because Mikan is quite similar. Glenn's really good, Hal's good, Rafer's good, Jalen's good, Steph's the best player in the game. So yeah, this is it's like an 8.75 out of 10. And now we are on to the last team right here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the last team. So, I attacked the basket and I used Nick Anderson, Ruby Carey kills for your 3-point. Guys, Duncan Robinson is your clutch shooter. Okay, let's just rewind a little bit. First of all, sell Kevin Garnett. He is too, and Darius Miles. They are too expensive for this team. You desperately need someone to replace Kerry Kittles. Oh wow, where to start? I'm just gonna say this right now. If I came up against this team if I saw this in an unlimited screen, I would know for a fact I've won. So I can't give this more than a 7 out of 10. Just because it's not a perfectly structured team. It's not that it's an awful team. The players in your team are pretty decent. It's just not structured well. Karl Anthony Towns, I mean, he's just simply not as good as Serge Ibaka. Bargnani's fine, but Cat's okay. Kevin Garnett again, AK basically is the same thing. Bailey Howe at the 3 is very, very iffy. Not gonna lie, you got no speed. And if you want a 3-point shooter, Kerry Kills is not it. Just get yourself Rex or something. Alright, freaking Bruce Bowen is significantly better. He plays better defense and has got almost as good. He's almost as good a shooter as Kerry Kittle. So just get Bruce Bowen. You've only got 3k MT. So sell Kevin Garnett. You're up to like whatever 80k. Sell Bailey and sell. No, you can keep Bailey. Get Bruce Bowen at the 2. No, actually, sell Bailey. Get Bruce Bowen at the 3. You get Ruby Clay at the 2. And yeah, that's team is a little bit better. Sell Darius Miles and at the 3 there put in. I actually have no idea. Who's less than 10k and good at the 3? There's no one majorly that I can think of. But you'll find someone. Just Miles is not good value. And then you can probably make a team that's equally as good as this while also building your MT up to like 80k, which is probably the best way to go about things. But this team, man, it's not a great team. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it. that is the video. This is another episode of the series where I rate your squads. It's been a while, lads. It has been a while. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.